Hello everyone, welcome to my channel CAPSA. Today we will learn about innate immunity, humoral immunity, adaptive immunity, herd immunity. Adaptive immunity is also known as acquired immunity. And what is the definition of immune system? What do you understand by immunity? And what are the organs involved in immune system? Okay, so today's topic is innate, humoral, and adaptive or acquired immunity. Now we need to be clear about what is immune system. So immune system is a complex network of cells, tissues, organs and some specific substances they make that helps your body to fight against infections and other diseases. Okay, so it's a complex network of cells, tissues, or organs that helps your body to fight against infections and other diseases. Now, what do you understand by immunity? So, immunity is the process when your body starts to produce antibody against the antigen. It's called as immunity. So, immunity means when body starts to produce antibody against antigen or specific antigen. Okay. Now, what are the types of immunity we can see? First one is innate immunity. Okay. And this innate immunity again subdivided into two categories. First one is specific, second one is non-specific. Okay. So first one is specific and second one is non-specific. Now what are specific? When skin or any kind of lysozymes, these kind of things are involved in destroying the pathogens or by decreasing the pH of the stomach. These kind of things are involved for destroying the pathogen. These are comes under specific kind of innate immunity. Okay, intact skin, decreasing the pH of stomach, or it can be lysozyme. When they are involved in destroying the pathogens, these are innate immunity. Okay, specific type of innate immunity. Another one is non-specific. Okay, so non-specific means when eosinophil, neutrophil, natural killer cells or NK cells, dendritic cells, or it can be mast cells, these kind of cells are involved in destroying the pathogens or germs, This kind of immunity is known as non-specific innate immunity. Okay, so these cells are which are involved, that are eosinophils, basophils, macrophages, dendritic cells, etc. Okay. Another second type is that is adaptive or acquired immunity. Okay. So adaptive or acquired immunity is again subdivided into two categories. The two categories are, first one is active immunity, active, active kind of adaptive or acquired immunity, and another one is passive immunity or passive kind of adaptive or acquired immunity. Okay, so active immunity are when this kind of immunity develop on exposure to exogenous antigen, that is active immunity. Okay, and it is again subdivided into two categories. First one is natural, second one is through the vaccination. Okay, what are natural? When there is a natural infection occur in your body, immune antibody will generate. So this kind of antibody generation is comes under the natural active kind of immunity system, immune system. Okay, and another category is vaccination. When you are taking vaccine against any kind of disease, these are comes under the vaccinated kind of active immune system. Okay, the vaccines are like tetanus toxoids, polio vaccines, measles, etc. comes under active type of vaccination system. Okay, now the another category is passive immunity. Okay, so what is passive immunity? When you are receiving preformed antibodies, that is comes under passive immunity. Okay, it can be maternal or it can be immunoglobulin treatment. Okay, so first one is maternal, means when you are taking from your mother or a fetus when developing in the womb of mother, when he or she is receiving antibodies from the mother, that is the passive kind of maternal immunity. Okay, which type of antibody he or she can receive or a fetus can receive, that are IgA and IgG. Okay, now you need to be clear about, or you need to keep in mind, that IgA kind of antibody comes through the colostrum or the breast milk, but IgG antibody comes from mother to fetus through the blood placenta barrier or through the placenta. Some amount of MCQs come from this part. Okay, and another one is immunoglobulin treatment. Okay, or through the treatment of antibody, by using antibody when you are doing any kind of treatment, that is immunoglobulin treatment. Okay, now we need to understand what are the organs involved in immune system. Okay, so first organ, that is known as primary organ or first degree organ, one is bone marrow, that helps in the maturation and production of B cells. Second one is thymus, which helps in the maturation of T cells. You should keep in mind that B cells produce in the bone marrow, matures in the bone marrow, but T cells produce in the bone marrow but matures in the thymus. Okay? And the secondary organs which are involved are spleen, it can be lymph node, it can be tonsils, Peyer's patch, etc. Okay? So the secondary organ or 2-degree organs are spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patch, etc. Okay, what they actually do? They allow the immune cells to interact with antigens. Okay, now we will understand the individual part in detail. What is innate immunity? Okay, so innate immunity actually considered as the first line defense of host that prevent the infection and attack the invading pathogens, and this type of immunity is present at birth and lasts a person throughout the life or entire life, but it does not have any memory of encounters, does not remember specific foreign antigens, does not provide any ongoing protection against future infection. I have told a lot of things. Now I will point out each and everything. So first, what I have told, that it is the first line defense of host. Okay. So it is the first line defense of host. Okay. Second, I have told that it attacks the invading pathogens. Okay. It attacks the invading pathogens. And it has no memory, and it is present at the birth and lasts for entire life. So we can write like from birth to entire life. As because it has no memory, so does not remember specific foreign antigens and does not provide any protection against future infection. So we can write like it has no memory, so cannot provide protection against the body from future infections. Okay. Another type of immune system is adaptive immune system, also known as acquired immunity or immune system. Okay. When innate immune system is not able to destroy the germs or pathogens, adaptive immune system takes over the functions. Clear? But to do that, it first needs to identify the germ or the pathogen, and it can remember the germ or it has a memory. As because it must need to identify the germ through recalling the memory, so the response is slower than innate immunity. So we can write like when innate immune system unable to respond, adaptive immune system activate or activates its function. Okay. And what I have said, it can remember the germ or it has a memory. So if it has a memory, it need to recall after identification the germ or pathogen, it need to recall the memory. So for recalling the memory, it needs some time. So obviously it will slow. So slower response than the innate immunity. So we can write like it has a memory, and to recall the memory after identification the germ, it needs some time. So obviously it has slower action than innate immunity. Okay. And you should keep in mind that whatever I am saying in this, that is the point based study. Okay. To clear your concept, do not skip your books. Obviously after reading my lecture, after viewing my lecture, obviously go for the books which is provided through your college or through your university. Okay. Now adaptive immune system actually made of two type of cells. First one is T lymphocytes or T cells, that is responsible to cell mediated immune system, and another one is B lymphocytes or B cells that are responsible for humoral immune system. Okay. So cell mediated means here kind of cells are involved, type of cells. Okay. And humoral means when blood is involved. Humoral means blood. Okay. So when the cells which involved kind of blood cells or cells which are produced from bone marrow. Okay. Because B cells are involved and it is produced from bone marrow, that's why the term is using humoral immune system. Clear? Now we will see the functions, individual functions of T cells and B cells. It is very much interesting. T cells actually have three type of cells: helper T cells, second one is cytotoxic T cells, and third one is memory T cells. We will understand these three types through their functions. Okay, so let's go for the functions. First function is they uses chemical messengers to produce another helping cells, that is known as helper T cells, to start the adaptive immune system. It means T cells need to activate the helper T cells for starting the function of adaptive immune system. So generation of helper T cells occur. Okay. Second function is they detect the infected cells after generation and destroy them by using another kind of cells, T cells, that is known as cytotoxic T cells. So they detect the pathogen and destroy it by using cells like cytotoxic T cells. These are the two types of T cells I previously told. Cytotoxic T cells. Okay. Another category is some helper T cells converts to memory T cells which can remember the germ. Okay. Which can identify or remember the germ. That is memory T cells. Another type. Now we will understand the functions of B lymphocytes or B cells. Okay. Where it produces in the bone marrow, matures in the bone marrow. T cells produce in the bone marrow but matures in the thymus. Now, after activation of the helper T cells, it activates B cells. Now, helper T cells and B cells, both of these two goes to detect the germ, and then B cells converts to plasma cells to produce specific antibodies against the pathogen. And some B cells also converts to memory cells and become the part of memory. Now we will understand it step by step. So, after activation, T cells or activated T cells activates the B cells. Okay. Now these activated T cells, I am using asterisks for this purpose, activation, denoting activation, and activated B cells goes to identify the germ, okay, or for the identification of germ. After the identification of germ, these activated B cells convert itself to the plasma cells. Okay. Now these plasma cells produces specific antibodies for to destroy that specific antigen. Okay, clear to you? And some of the B cells converts to memory cells and become the part of memory. Clear to you? Now another kind of immunity we need to understand, that is herd immunity. Okay, that is also a type of immunity or immune system. Now herd means when large portion of community or large portion of peoples are involved. Clear? So we can say like, if the large portion of community or people or herd becomes immune to a specific disease, that is herd immunity. Sure? Clear to you? So can you remember which kind of herd immunity recent used? That is COVID-19 vaccination. It is used over large amount of population. So we can write like, if the large portion of a community or herd becomes immune to a specific disease, that is known as herd immunity. And like another type of examples are, except COVID-19, that are polio, which occurred in 1950s, measles in 1960s, cough in 1940s, etc. Okay, it means when mass vaccination is provided, that is herd immunity. Okay, polio, measles, etc. So this is the end of my lecture. If you like my video, please do like, comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for your attention.